in my wrestling.
Romans, what? 16, what? 19 says.
Say what?
Romans,
What?
16,
What?
19 says.
Say what?
Be excellent at what is good, be innocent of evil. Be excellent at what is good, be innocent of evil. And the God of peace will soon crush Satan. Yeah, God will crush him where? Underneath your feet. Romans
What?
16,
What?
19 says.
Say what?
Romans
What?
16,
What?
19 says.
Say what?
Be excellent at what is good, be innocent of evil. Be excellent at what is good, be innocent of evil. And the God of peace will soon crush Satan. Yeah, God will crush him where? Underneath your feet. Romans
What?
16,
What?
19 says.
Say what?
Romans
What?
16,
What?
19 says.
Say what?
Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you. The mountains are His, the rivers are His, the stars are His handiwork too. Woohoo! My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you.
You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace.
Hey, welcome to Awana Games. We got here a pile of elastics and a couple cups. Let's see how good their aim is. We got 60 seconds. All right, we got 60 seconds on the clock. First one to knock over their 6 cups are the winner. We have Sarah on the pile closest to us, Sophia on the far pile. Let's see how they do. On your mark, get set, go. Lining up, Sarah's taking her first shot. Oh, there you go, Sophia knocking down that. Oh, Sarah playing for the wrong team. Sophia taking another aim.
What are you kidding?
Over to the top. Sarah seems to be hitting earlier than she. Ooh, I feel like snapped in her hand. There you go. So Sarah taking off her first one on the right hand side. Wow, a solid hit from Sophia. Sarah taking aim. Oh, she takes off 2 with 1 shot. It's now a tie game. 1 left on Sarah. Sophia going wide. Time.
I really didn't think I was going to win that one.
I want to hit it down. I want to finish
Those
it.
are fun, actually.
You can like stop the video though. Oh wow.
Well, she didn't get off to a great start, but Sarah was our winner. See how well you can do with 60 seconds.
My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you.
Hey guys, welcome to Awana, and today we are memorizing Isaiah 45 verse 22. So today we're going to do some actions for this verse. So make sure you have some room around your screen and you can do the actions with me. Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth. For I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. Okay, so we're going to erase one of our action words. We're going to go with a pretty easy one. Erase the word God. Another easy one. I'm going to take out turn. So, notice that's where we turn around, obviously. So, Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth. For I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. Okay, we're going to take out I. So for I, we are pointing up to our eye for that one. Okay, Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth. For I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. Okay. We're gonna go with all. So the action for all is we're pointing to everyone. So Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth. For I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. Okay, we're going to get a little harder. We're going to take out there is no other. So, we're going to take out saved. So the action for saved, if you noticed, is you have your hands kind of in chains and break free from them. So, Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth, for I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. All right, I think the only one we have left is the earth. So I'll take out that and then we'll see if I can say it without looking at the board at all and doing the actions. So Isaiah 45 verse 22. Turn to me and be saved, all you ends of the earth. For I am God and there is no other. Isaiah 45 verse 22. All right, I think we got it, so. Oh boy. I don't know how to end this. So thanks for tuning in and we'll see you next time.
My lighthouse, I will trust the promise.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Awana Story Time. So this week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be playing almost a Pictionary with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out the scene from the story on the board, and then I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to try and figure out what's going on in the scene, and then I'll explain it to you guys, okay? Sound like fun? Alright, good. So we're going to start today. Our first scene is actually going to be a sort of review of what we did last week, okay? So I'm going to draw it out on the board, and then you guys are going to have a few seconds to try and figure out what happened last week in our story, and then I'll let you guys know. So, we have some people here. They don't really look like people yet, but we'll get there. Right. Now these people are all related, I'll give you that hint. They all are smiling. Alright, then we have the land of Canaan and the land of Egypt. The these people are heading somewhere new. There's also something else happening too here. They moved because of something that was going on in their land. Alright. Okay. So this is my picture I've drawn here. I'll give you a few seconds to try and figure out what it is. So what's going on in our picture here? We have Joseph and his 11 brothers moving from the land of Canaan to the land of Egypt because Canaan has no more food. Remember, there's a famine in the land, and so Joseph's brothers had actually sold them into slavery into Egypt, but God used that for good, and Joseph was able to save the land of Egypt because he knew that the famine was coming. So that's kind of a quick overview of the story last week. If you don't remember it that well, you can go back and watch that video. But today, our story starts now with the descendants of Joseph. So I'm going to draw a quick picture. You guys can try and figure out what's going on in the picture, and then I'll explain the next one to you. Alright, we've got lots of people again at the bottom. They don't have faces. I don't think I'll draw their faces just because that would take a really long time. But I'll give you guys one hint. This guy's coat is super colorful. Alright, do you guys think you know what it is? Okay, I will explain it to you now. So, what's happening here is we have Joseph in his coat of many colors. If you guys remember from last week's story again, he and his whole family, his 11 brothers, have kids of their own, and then they keep having more kids, like their descendants, and it moves on and on and on. And then 350 years later, there is a whole nation within the land of Egypt, the Israelites. And so there's lots and lots of people, and they become very wealthy. Okay, so if you guys remember, the Pharaoh, when Joseph was in Egypt, really liked the Israelites because Joseph actually helped when there was a famine and saved the nation of Egypt. So the Pharaoh at that time was Joseph's friend. But then as time went on, the pharaohs forgot what Joseph's family had done for them. And so the next picture is what happens now 350 years later, okay? Alright, so now 350 years later, there is a new king in Egypt. I mean, there would have been a lot of kings in between, but it's new pharaoh. He thinks that something is going to happen. He's scared that something is going to happen. And these are their arms here. Kind of hard to know what those are, but okay, I'll give you guys also a hint too. These people here are the same as these people. Alright, so to explain this one, I'm going to read from Exodus 1 verses 8 to 11. It says, "Eventually a new king came to power in Egypt, who knew nothing about Joseph or what he had done. He said to his people, 'Look, the people of Israel now outnumber us and are stronger than we are. We must make a plan to keep them from growing even more. If we don't, and if war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. Then they will escape from the country.' So the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves. They appointed brutal slave drivers over them, hoping to wear them down with crushing labor. They forced them to build the cities of Philem and Ramses as supply centers for the king." So, what's happening here in my picture is you have the king of Egypt at the time, and he is scared that the Israelites are going to take over and get rid of him as king. So he's getting like put over there. And then so the Israelites, what he does then, because he's scared that this is going to happen, he makes the Israelites his slaves. And so I have them building a pyramid here, but they had to build the supply centers for the king. So here, Satan is actually trying to thwart God's plan here. So as you can see, the people of Israel are living in Egypt, which is not the promised land. And now the king is trying to get rid of the nation of Israel. So he's also made a decree as well that when they have children, that they would have to actually throw them into the Nile River. So he was trying to get rid of the entire nation of Israel. This didn't take God by surprise, and he had a plan through it, and he ended up using someone very special to bring the people out of Egypt. So my next drawing that I'm going to do is about this person. See if you can guess who it is by my drawing, and then I will explain the first part of his story to you. Alright, any guesses of what we've got going on here? So, I will read to you guys from Exodus 2, verses 1 to 5, I think right now. So, about this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the banks of the Nile River. The baby's sister then stood at a distance watching to see what would happen. So we have our baby. If you guys don't know, his name is Moses. And then we have his sister over here watching over the baby to see what would happen. So as we can also see, Moses' parents trusted God a lot, and they knew that their baby was special, and so they hid him for as long as they could. But when a baby gets to be older and starts talking or walking or crying more, then it's harder to keep this baby hidden. So Moses' mom trusted God so much that she put her baby into a basket and put it in the river, okay? And then, so what happens? So the baby's in the river. So soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the riverbank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to go get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This must be one of the Hebrew children," she said, Hebrew or Israelite. Then the baby's sister approached the princess. So that's the sister, her name's Miriam. She approached the princess over here, and she said, "Should I go find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, do," the princess replied. So the girl went and called the baby's mother. "Take this baby and nurse him for me," the princess told the baby's mother. "I will pay you for your help." So the woman took her baby home and nursed him. Later, when that boy was old enough, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, "I lifted him out of the water." So if you see here, so Moses' mom trusted God enough to put Moses in a basket in the river. And then so Pharaoh's daughter comes and finds Moses in the river and actually gets Moses' mom to take care of Moses until he's old enough to go and live at the palace with the princess. So you see how when Moses' mom trusted God, it worked out in the end, and she was able to save her son. So we will continue to learn about Moses next week because his story is not over at all. So I hope to see you guys again soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Pictionary game that we did with this week's lesson.